The Australian government has been running scholarship programs in some form for the Pacific since the 1950s.
In 2009, I think we implemented around 2,000 scholarships. We anticipate by 2014, 2015 that scholarships program will double to over 3,700 awards each year. That is an exciting opportunity for us and for our partners.
The population of Kiribati is about the same size as Wollongong in Australia, but we are scattered over an area that's about the size of the United States.
So let's take the population of Wollongong and scatter them over this large area. On top of that, we will only provide them with education up to a Year 12 level. And from this, we must expect that this tiny state of Wollongong will provide all the skills and capacity to successfully run a modern state in the 21st century.
So if we need people to be more qualified in order to become doctors, to become knowledgeable people who can lead the country in future, we would need to send them abroad to study in universities and technical institutions.
The people who are lucky enough to get a prestigious award come to Australia, undertake their studies, but then they can go home and contribute to development. And we see that as a really critical pathway for supporting countries to drive their own development.
Alice Seagull has been managing the Kiribati end of the scholarships program since the early 90s.
Over 20 awardees or awards get to be offered every year, and the budget is approximately $2 million every year. It's been a pleasure to see that there are a lot of graduates who've returned and are now in senior positions.
We work very closely with our partner governments to align the scholarships with the areas of most need. So, for example, in a country like Kiribati, we work very closely with our partners to identify what the priority areas are, and we align our scholarships to address those.
So at the start, ministries and government companies and corporations submit to us the skill gaps, the training needs for the 3-year period. Once they submit to us those skill gaps or training needs, PSO compile the National Human Resource Development Plan.
Former awardee Aka Rimon is the Deputy Secretary for the Ministry of Labour and Human Resource Development. Aka received an Australian Leadership Award and completed a master's degree in public administration.
You know, we have a lot of development and aid into Kiribati from other donor countries, and the problem is that we still rely on internationals to come and do the job for us because we don't have the qualifications. How great would it be if you have, young people and young locals who can do that for themselves? We increase capacity of our people, teach them, empower them to do things that we may not consider having been able to do in the first place.
The school leavers, Form 7 students, they apply through the Ministry of Education.
One of this year's young hopefuls is Jawakai Kampas.
Well, actually, the scholarship, I'm actually relying on it, just to do my further studies overseas, I plan on being a doctor and then come back and help Kiribati, yeah.
And he's one of the best because I think he works hard, really, and maybe he's been supported by the family.
The benefit of scholarship, it benefits, the student, the family, relieving stress of knowing that your parents are not, sweating hard, going out to the sea, fishing, for your fees. It's kind of a new thing to me, being a Pacific Islander and going overseas, seeing new things, seeing modern things, like high buildings, and there's happy things about being in a place that's, bright and, energetic, but, so it's quite different from my country.
You get really thrilled by the excitement of going to study in Australia at first, and it just makes you so overly excited that, you almost forgot what it's going to be like when you get there. And that's exactly what I went through. When I got into Sydney, I thought, okay, yeah, I'm here. Finally, I need to go to the Opera House and get a photo and, look at it and say, yay, I'm finally here. It takes some time. It takes a lot of patience to really learn about the culture that you're in. For me, I found most hard the fact that in my neighborhood nobody will speak to me. I'll be walking up to the nearest shop to get milk and papers in the morning, and there's these people that I meet on the way jogging all the time, and I being friendly and all, and this is what we do in Kiribati, we smile and wave to everyone, and they give me this look like, do we know you? I'm like, okay, so you remain lonely and you have to adapt to whatever the situation is.
Mary Mere is from the Kiribati Ministry for the Environment, and she's studying for a master's degree in environmental law.
I get to come here and learn more skills that I think I can contribute to my country for environment protection. When I first came here, I realized that I have limited, knowledge on, many things. Like I learned that I can learn more.
The wealth of sharing knowledge and experiences from other international students or from lecturers or from the paper that you write and have your supervisor tell you other things that you may not have seen at that time is something that really expands your horizon to really understand where you come from.
We have also liaison officers. They're the ones who look after us. We have academic advisors, and we can also ask for tutoring. That's where we get all the support from.
Australia puts a lot of store in developing leaders in our region, and I think that the group here represents the best and the brightest that we have studying in Australia. So I think it's a great opportunity and a great thing that you're here today.
In November, Mary was one of the 30 who gathered in Canberra to receive the Prime Minister's Pacific Award.
Congratulations and welcome. And to use this opportunity to talk to your colleagues and I think start to build those sort of informal networks that I hope that'll endure for many years to come.
It's amazing, the circle of friends that we built from among all the scholars that were there have become, very close families to us during our time away from home. A favourite hangout was the pancakes on the rocks overlooking the harbour at Sydney. Yeah, we'd normally go there and have pancakes and talk and just catch up with everyone and, forbid ourselves from talking about school and studies. So yes, I miss the friends that I've met in Australia.
But also you get to experience a different kind of life, like very different from Kiribati, the way we live. And it's a good experience.
Everyone else is going on about climate change and economics but I thought, education is at the foremost of all development efforts, and without education we cannot do something about climate change, economics and other development aspects.
And the good news is that the worker received an Australian Development Scholarship.
It also gives an advantage to your country because if you go overseas, you get better qualifications, and if you come back, you give better services, and overall you build up a country with better services and a better country.